Listen to me. You've been dreaming big. You've got the vision, the plan, the goals, but something's still off. You're grinding, you're posting quotes, you're watching motivation every morning, but deep down, you know you're not where you're supposed to be. And you're frustrated because you can feel that you were built for more. Let me tell you right now, it's not the world, it's not luck, it's not your situation. There's one mistake, one deadly habit that's silently killing your dreams, your purpose, your potential. And until you fix it, you'll keep running in circles, busy but not productive, hungry but never fed. So I need you to lock in right now. Don't click away, don't scroll. Because if you truly want to change your life, if you're tired of waking up stuck in the same place year after year, this message right here might be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. Listen to me, the biggest mistake most people make is waiting. Waiting for the stars to align, for the right mood, the right money, the right people. You keep saying, when I have more time, I'll start. When I get that equipment, I'll launch. When I feel confident, I'll post. But let me tell you the truth, that perfect time you're waiting for, it's a fantasy. It doesn't exist. You think success is something you step into when everything feels right, but success is something you build while everything feels wrong. You can't keep waiting for clarity when the lesson only comes through movement. The world doesn't reward hesitation. It rewards execution. I remember a young man named Marcus. Bright kid, dreamed of launching a clothing brand that would inspire kids from his neighborhood. He'd show me sketches, designs, even slogans like Born for More. Every time I saw him, I'd ask, bro, what's up? You started yet? And every time I'd hear the same thing, not yet, E.T. I'm waiting for the right moment. I just need a little more time, a little more capital, a better camera. You know what happened? 3 years later, someone else launched a brand with the exact same name. The difference? That person didn't wait. They didn't have perfect conditions, but they had momentum. Marcus was still waiting, and the world moved on without him. Listen to me, life doesn't give participation trophies for almost started. You can't win a race you never run. Too many people are sitting on dreams because they're scared of imperfection. You say you're waiting for the right time, but what you're really waiting for is a guarantee that it'll work, that you won't fail, that people will approve. But growth doesn't come with guarantees, it comes with grit. When I started speaking, I wasn't polished. I didn't have a fancy mic. I didn't have YouTube followers. I didn't even have proper lighting, but I had something better, fire. I started with what I had. I used classrooms, church basements, parking lots, whatever I could get. And because I didn't wait for perfect, I learned, I grew, I improved. If I had waited, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. Some of you think waiting protects you from pain, but let me tell you, waiting hurts too. Waking up every day knowing you're capable of more, but doing nothing about it. That's pain. Seeing other people live your dream because you were too scared to move. That's pain. The only difference is one kind of pain leads to growth, the other leads to regret. Stop telling yourself you need more time. You don't. You need more courage. The time you're waiting for is now. Every second you delay, your dream loses oxygen. You can't keep putting your purpose on pause. Start messy. Start scared. Start unprepared. Just start. Because imperfect action will always beat perfect inaction. The right moment isn't something you wait for. It's something you create. Let's be real. Some of you say you want success, but deep down, you don't want to hurt for it. You want the dream, but you don't want the discomfort that comes with chasing it. You talk about grind, but the moment life gets tough, you fold. You want the prize, but not the process. And that's the problem. You've built a life around comfort when greatness only grows in discomfort. You can't chase your goals while hiding under your blanket of convenience. Success doesn't live where it's cozy. It lives where it's uncomfortable. Every level up demands a version of you that's willing to be stretched. I remember meeting a young woman named Tasha, single mother, 2 jobs. She told me, E.T., I want to be a nurse. I want to make a better life for my son. I said, then let's go get it. But she looked at me, tears in her eyes, and said, I'm exhausted. I barely sleep. I don't know how I'll find the time to study.
I told her, that's the price. The discomfort you feel right now is the down payment on your dream. So she decided to push through it. She studied during her 15-minute lunch breaks. She watched lectures on her phone while washing dishes. She wrote flashcards on the bus ride to work. It wasn't easy. There were nights she cried herself to sleep, but she didn't quit.
2 years later, I got a call from her. E.T., she said, I passed my board exams. You could hear the pride in her voice. That woman went from barely surviving to thriving because she was willing to suffer for her purpose. You see, pain is not your enemy, it's your trainer. Discomfort is the gym where your potential gets built. Every rep of struggle is shaping the future version of you. But most people tap out before they even sweat. They want God to bless them while they sit on the couch scrolling TikTok. They want success, but not sacrifice. Let me tell you something. Comfort zones are dream killers. They look safe, they feel good, but they keep you small. The comfort zone whispers, stay here, it sips warm, while your destiny is shouting, come out here, it sips waiting. The truth is, you can't stay the same and become more at the same time. You either choose comfort or you choose growth. You can't have both. Every successful person you admire, whether it's an athlete, entrepreneur, or artist, they've all been uncomfortable. They've all failed, cried, lost, struggled, but they kept going. So I'm asking you, what's your excuse? Are you staying comfortable because it's easy or because you're scared? Because fear disguised as comfort is still fear. Stop protecting your comfort and start protecting your purpose. You can't keep hiding behind someday. There's no growth in the familiar. Step out, do the hard thing. Wake up earlier, train harder, study longer, speak even when your voice shakes. Because one day you'll realize the pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of regret. So make a choice today. Do you want comfort or do you want change? You can't have both. But if you're brave enough to get uncomfortable, you'll unlock a version of yourself you didn't even know existed. Listen to me. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're building. Some of y'all are moving every day, running in circles, checking boxes, staying grind mode. But when I ask you, what did you actually accomplish? You've got nothing to show. You're tired, but not transformed. You've been active, but not effective. Busyness is the biggest illusion in this generation. It feels like progress because it keeps you moving. You got your planner filled, your calendar booked, your phone buzzing, but none of that means you're getting closer to your dream. You confuse motion with movement. Let me tell you a story. I had a student named Jordan, bright, passionate, creative. He told me, E.T., I've been grinding hard on my business. I said, that's great. Let me see the numbers. He showed me logos, mock-ups, ideas, a whole folder of plans. I said, okay, but where's your product? Where are your customers? He said, I'm still finalizing things. I said, bro, you've been finalizing for 8 months. You're not building a business, you're building excuses. That conversation hit him hard. He realized he was busy doing everything except the thing that mattered most. He was perfecting, adjusting, planning, but never executing. 6 months later, he finally launched Messy But Ready. And guess what? Within a year, he was profitable. Not because he worked harder, but because he started working smarter. See, the truth is most people stay busy to avoid accountability. You stay in planning mode because planning feels safe. When you're busy, you can convince yourself you're making progress. But deep down, you know you're avoiding the real work. You're scared to test your dream in the real world because that's where feedback comes. That's where failure lives. But listen to me. Execution beats perfection every single time. You can have 1,000 ideas, 1,000,000 to-do lists, a fancy vision board, but if you don't execute, none of it matters. Don't tell me how many hours you worked. Tell me what results you produced. Don't show me your effort. Show me your impact. When I started speaking, I didn't have a strategy team or social media manager. I had a camera, a mic, and grind. I wasn't worried about being fancy. I was focused on being effective. I recorded, I posted, I learned, I improved. Every video wasn't perfect, but every video had purpose. You gotta stop hiding behind activity. Some of you need to sit down and ask, am I really making progress or am I just keeping busy so I don't feel guilty? Because here's the truth. Busyness is a form of procrastination dressed up in productivity clothes. Success is not about how much you do, it's about how much you grow. You need to start doing the things that actually move the needle. Stop tweaking the website and start selling. Stop talking about your dream and start building it. Because one day you'll look back and realize you were working hard, but not smart. You spent your life being busy instead of becoming better. So from this day forward, don't chase activity, chase advancement. Measure your growth, not your grind. Don't ask, how much did I do today? Ask, what did I move forward today? Because progress, not activity, is what builds legacy. Let me say this loud and clear. Your environment shapes your energy. You can't become great if you're surrounded by people who are comfortable being average. You can't stay focused on your goals if you're constantly around folks who don't have any. Some of you are not failing because you're lazy. You're failing because you're loyal to the wrong crowd. Listen to me. Your circle is either pushing you forward or pulling you backward. There is no neutral. Every conversation you have, every hangout, every influence is either building you or breaking you. I remember this young brother named Ray. He had a dream of being a music producer. The talent was crazy, raw, creative, passionate. But every time I checked on him, he was chilling with the same group of guys who did nothing all day. They sit around talking about who dropped a new track, who went viral, who got clout. I told him, Ray, you'll never make hits if you keep hanging with people who are comfortable missing them. He laughed it off. E.T., they sir, my boys, they still been with me since day one. I said, yeah, but day one still be with you on day done. 2 years later, one of those same guys got locked up. Another one gave up on his dreams completely. And Ray, he was still in the same spot, still planning, still thinking about it. His dream didn't die because he wasn't talented. It died because he was surrounded by people who never made him grow. Sometimes your dream is suffocating because the people around you don't breathe purpose. They don't speak vision. They don't believe in discipline. And if you're not careful, you start to sound like them, think like them, and settle like them. I had to learn that myself. When I started my journey, I was around people who always said, chill out, E.T. Why are you always so intense? They'd make me feel crazy for wanting more. Until one day I realized they weren't crazy about me. They were uncomfortable with my drive. So I made a decision. I loved them, but I couldn't stay with them because my future couldn't grow in that soil. In the moment I changed my circle, everything changed. I surrounded myself with grinders, with believers, with people who looked at excuses like poison. Suddenly, I wasn't the loudest in the room anymore. I was the hungriest. You need people who challenge your comfort, not those who feed it. You need friends who call you out, who say, you can do better, not it's okay, maybe next time. You need mentors who don't sugarcoat your laziness. They expose it. Hear me. If you're always the smartest or most driven person in your group, your circle isn't a team, it's a trap. Growth demands friction. Iron sharpens iron, not cotton. So do an audit today. Look around you. Who in your circle inspires you? Who drains you? Who believes in your dream when you forget it yourself? Because the truth is, you can't soar like an eagle if you keep running with pigeons. You don't owe anyone your downfall. Love people, but love your purpose more, because the right people won't just support your dream, they'll ignite it. Listen to me. Some of you are sitting on greatness, not because you don't have the talent, not because you don't have the time, but because you're terrified to fail. You've built a comfort zone out of fear. You say, what if I mess up? What if people laugh? What if I'm not good enough? But I came to tell you, the only thing worse than failing is never even trying. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the foundation of it. Every successful person you admire has a history of falling flat on their face. You don't learn confidence from winning. You learn it from getting back up after losing. But too many of you are worshiping perfection instead of pursuing progress. I remember this young man, Jamal, a college student who dreamed of starting a podcast. He had ideas, topics, and a voice full of passion. But every time I asked him, when you starting? He said, soon, E.T. I just want to make sure it's perfect. I said, perfect? You'll die waiting for perfect. He was scared. Scared nobody would listen. Scared people would judge his voice. Scared he'd sound unpolished. A whole year passed, and guess what? He still hadn't started. Then one day, another student launched a similar show, and it blew up. The difference wasn't talent. The difference was courage. Finally, Jamal got sick of waiting. He recorded his first episode in his dorm room with bad audio and a phone mic. It wasn't perfect, but it was real, and people connected with it. Within months, he built a loyal audience. You know why? Because people don't connect with perfection. They connect with authenticity. You got to stop letting fear control your decisions. Fear whispers lies. It tells you you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. But fear isn't a sign to stop. It's a signal that you're about to grow. Every time you face fear, you're training your mind to trust yourself more. When I started speaking, I was scared too. I didn't know if anyone would listen. I didn't have a blueprint. I didn't know if I'd fail. But I told myself I'd rather fail chasing my purpose than succeed running from it. Every no, every mistake, every flop, it made me stronger. It made me sharper. Let me be real with you. Failure hurts. It stings. But it's also your teacher. Every failure carries a lesson that success can't teach. When you fail, you discover what you're really made of. You learn resilience. You learn humility. You learn how to fight back. Some of you are praying for God to bless you, but you're not even giving him something to bless. You're waiting for a guarantee before you take a step. But faith doesn't work that way. You got to move first. You got to jump before you can fly. So hear me, stop waiting to feel ready. You'll never be 100% ready. You just need 20 seconds of insane courage to take that first step. Launch the business, write the book, post a video, apply for that job. Whatever it is, move. Because failure isn't sit final. Quitting is, you can recover from failure, but you can recover from regret. 10 years from now, you won't remember the embarrassment, but you feel the pain of what if. So go out there, fall. Learn, rise, repeat, because every failure you face is one step closer to the version of you that wins. Let me hit you with something deep. Some of you are not losing because you don't have the skill. You're losing because you don't have the self-worth. You've convinced yourself that greatness is for them, the athletes, the influencers, the rich, the lucky, but not for you. And that right there, that mindset is the biggest barrier between you and your destiny. You can't build a successful life if deep down you don't believe you deserve one. You can't walk in purpose if you're still questioning your value. The truth is, the way you see yourself sets the limit for everything you'll ever achieve. I met this young woman named Aisha, brilliant, hardworking, full of potential, but every time opportunity knocked, she stepped back. When I asked her why, she said, "E.T., I just don't think I'm good enough yet." She had the talent, she had the heart, but she also had doubt whispering in her ear. She came from a rough background, broken home, financial struggle, people always telling her she wasn't capable. And after hearing no for so long, she started to believe it. That's what happens to a lot of us. We internalize rejection until it becomes our reality. We start telling ourselves, "I can't," before the world even gets the chance to say yes. I looked her in the eyes and said, "You got to stop letting your past talk you out of your future. Your worth isn't based on where you came from. It's based on what's inside you. You've been chosen. You've been built for this, but you got to believe it before anybody else will." Listen to me. Every dream starts with belief. Not money, not luck, not followers. Belief. If you don't believe in your dream, nobody else will. People don't invest in doubt. They invest in conviction. When I started speaking, I didn't have a platform. I didn't have cameras, studios, or teams, but I had belief. I told myself, "E.T., you're supposed to be doing this." And I said it even when nobody was listening, even when people told me I wasn't good enough, even when I felt like giving up, because belief is the fuel that keeps you going when everything else runs out. The problem with most of you is you're acting like you're asking for success, not claiming it. You say, "I hope it works out," instead of "it's mine." You pray like a beggar instead of speaking like an heir. You wait for proof instead of walking in faith. But let me tell you, you can't receive what you don't expect. You got to start affirming yourself. You got to speak life into your own name. Stop saying "I can't" and start saying "I will." Stop saying "I'm not ready" and start saying "I'm chosen." The moment you start believing you deserve more, your energy shifts, your habits change, your results multiply. Because here's the truth, you will never rise higher than your self-image. If you see yourself as broken, you'll keep attracting broken results. But if you see yourself as powerful, as worthy, as capable, you'll start walking like it, talking like it, living like it. So I'm telling you right now, stop waiting for permission to be great. You've already been approved. You're already enough. You've already got what it takes. All that's left is for you to believe it and move like it. Because once you truly believe you deserve greatness, that's when your life finally starts to reflect it. So that's the truth. The one mistake killing your life goals is that out there, it's that's in here. It's that's the mindset that says later. It's that's the fear that says that's not ready. It's that's the doubt that whispers not you. But I came to tell you, yes, you. You were born with something special. You've got a purpose, a gift, a mission. You just need to move like it. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect. Fix the mistake today. Take one step, one decision, one act of courage. Because every second you hesitate, your dream fades a little more. And remember, it's not about being the best. It's about becoming your best. Now go out there and make your goals come alive.